And there's YouTube video there. And there's podcast audio there. All right. I think we'll be able to figure this gosh darn thing out. We will. We'll definitely figure this out.
I don't know, man. That doesn't seem woke. And I'm woke as hell.
All right. Now, trigger and or warning. Hardcore program ahead. Coming up on ya, wine cellar style. You understand. You know the deal.
This show is fucked up.
All right. So, Mia Love. That'll be the one for it, right? Morning wine cellar. Gonna hit up this brief Mia Love thing. And it is November 27th, 2018, 2:52 a.m. Right, morning wine cellar. Gotta be up. Gotta get it done. Gotta be ready to shovel snow out of the motherfucking driveway. And our driveway's on a slope. Like, it's not just shoveling the snow for convenience. It's shoveling snow so the car can get the fuck out the motherfucker at all. And apparently that ice melt rock salty shit is pretty gosh darn affordable. It's okay. It's okay prices. I agree with these prices. I don't like capitalism, but this is doable. I can make it with this. All right. So now, Mia Love, Haitian nigga, you know, and was a nigga that came up in the in Congress out of Utah, and funny style type nigga, man. And I mean, you know that off scratch. Like, if a nigga's a politician, you know, especially like if a nigga is like over 35, right, over 40 and shit like that, and a politician, you're like, I don't know. That's off scratch. But then, if you're black and a Republican, it's like, oh, nigga, you funny style as hell. Right? All right. Now, and there's just an interesting backup story to it, right? Like, in recent times, news has come up. Mia Love's campaign admits to improperly raising primary election funds. Mia Love accused the Democrats of racism against her. You know, because that's how black Republicans are. They like to say shit like, you're on the Democrat plantation. They're the real racists. That's the party the Klan came up under. If you're familiar with the wine cellar, you've heard critiques of the Democrats, but that's just high-octane bullshit. All right? Now, Mia Love's campaign raised $1.1 million. And designated that money to a primary, according to a letter from the FEC, Federal Elections Committee. And even after Mia Love secured the nomination at the convention, she raised an additional $372,000 specifically designated for the primary that her campaign knew would not take place. So a nigga was raising money for some shit that you wouldn't be spending money on. That's funny style, nigga. So, you know, dirty niggas. Criminal niggas, and of course it's the respectable rich niggas that are the dirty criminal niggas. Like, I mean, I'm sure a great many of you are highly surprised by that, right? Or Mia Love, one of them niggas, like trying to play the gun control game. It's very fun. It's very fun. Here, we'll actually go through this article, right? Alright, so Mia Love was one of the few Republicans who appeared to have some sense when it came to gun control, even though she received $3,000 from the NRA. Well, that's why. $3,000, but we just showed how, you know, she came up on a mill and an extra $300,000 on the other joint. The NRA's little $3,000, that's not buying that politician. Mia Love costs a little more than that. Alright. And, Mia Love said that everything should be on the table, right? And gave that information to the Salt Lake Tribune. And this included firearm background checks and raised the age threshold from 18 to 21. Right? Shit like that. Seems logical. Seems like a motherfucker might be thinking. And but that's for joints like an AR-15. Right? Which is like, don't get an AR-15 until you're old enough to get your own whiskey. Get drunk, then get an AR-15. Come on. So it's really not that good. AR-15s are a bad idea. Just shouldn't have them. And she also publicly did not agree with arguing teachers. Now, Love didn't say if she was for banning militarized weapons, which were banned until 2004. All right. However, her comments sounded promising. Excuse me. Until she started babbling in a private Facebook group after her conservative base got upset. Oh, so she changed up for partisanship. But why she changed up for partisanship? Because that was the party that was paying her. All right. So she ranted in screenshots obtained by Think Progress. And when it comes to, quote, everything being on the table, she claims she was really talking about Hollywood and violent video games. As for everything being on the table, she wrote, talking about Hollywood violent movie. That's the verbatim quote. I'm talking about Hollywood violent movie, horrible video games, and explicit music that kids are listened to. When did we allow Hollywood to be our guide to morality? People want to look at guns. They should also look and what is poisoning our children's minds. End quote from her in that Facebook group with the screenshots up at the Think Progress. And then she was suddenly all for arming teachers. So she went in the group, did that shit, came out, and now she's like, I gotta arm teachers. Quote, if a teacher is trained and wants to carry, they should. I support that. What I was referring to was my response in the media. It was asked if I wanted to force teachers to be armed, end quote. No, the quote continues, I said that doesn't make sense. Teachers who want to be armed and trained is fine, but do you want to force all teachers to be armed? Think about it. End quote. The original article did not say she was asked about teachers being forced to be armed, which doesn't even sound like a logical question. Mia Love appears to be pulling a Trump by blaming the media, which that's just pulling a Republican in general. When asked by Think Progress about this change-up, her office released a statement writing in part, quote, her position hasn't changed. Everything on the table means what she said in the op-ed, end quote. All right. So, Love did drop a little criticism on Trumpelstiltskin for saying shithole countries. And, but she, like every other politician, now is that time for backtracking and saying one thing in public and another in a private Facebook group. I don't typically get articles from News One, but that did come up off of the News One outlet. Not really my outlet, you know. All right. So now, why is Mia Love cracking off? Mia Love lost recently in 2018, and because now Mia Love doesn't have that job, Mia Love did a real quick lash out, and over in the archive chat space on the Facebook's Live, Tally Loco said she's for sale for the sale of arms. Oh man. So check out this audio. This is Mia Love. Basically, I consider this like a flip out. This was not strategic at all, because you can come back. You can, like, congressional terms are only 2 years, nigga. You can come back. Like, you think there's not going to be a lot of Republican voting activity in 2020? You can bounce the fuck back. But Mia Love had a reaction to losing. And I mean, look at Alan Grayson in Florida. Alan Grayson got in and then lost to Alan West, and then bounced it right back. And I was one of the people that voted for him to bounce him right back. All right, so this is Mia Love having a knee-jerk response to losing.
When President Trump took a jab at me because he thought that the race was over, and he lamented that I wouldn't ask him to come to the state of Utah, I was somewhat surprised at first. However, this gave me a clear vision of his world as it is. No real relationships, just convenient transactions. That is an insufficient way to implement sincere service and policy. Above all, my experience in the last year has provided me a big reminder of who I am and what my purpose is. This election experience and these comments shines a spotlight on the problems Washington politicians have with minorities and Black Americans. It's transactional. It's not personal.
Nigga. Like, really? Really, nigga? You know damn well that is what politics is transaction. It's trade-off. Why do you think so many politicians that might be for shit that you like, they have their name or their vote behind shit that you don't like? Because a big part of this shit is getting your fucking hands dirty. And you know what? I should say, that's my opinion on it. I think that they deliberately make each other get their fucking hands dirty, mostly with add-ons to bills, right? Like you have a bill that's a good bill, but they put a little dirty amendment in it, and it's like, yeah, we'll give you this bill, and I'll hustle up this many niggas from my party to vote for this bill, and of course you're gonna vote for it because it's your bill from your party, but this little dirty thing is gonna be in it, and you're gonna vote for it, and your hands will be dirty with that. All right, amendments, yeah, and that kind of shit is going on with I mean, you can find that shit with niggas like Bernie Sanders, Maxine Waters, in any of those heads. Of course, with the rank and file cats, the DCCC type niggas, of course you're gonna get that because it's transactional. Now, the Republicans transaction harder; they always get more, but that's the hustle of it. All right, that's the fucking politics. It's a goddamn exchange, and Mia Love is pretending to not have always known that. Mia Love is a grown-ass adult. You really think she was that fucking naive? And I'm talking about Black Americans that represent... Numbers do matter. And Utah, like, and I did some quick searching. There's not a lot of show prep time for Morning Wine Cellar. And I was doing a search because I was looking for old Mia Love stories, for the show prep. So I had the searches modified to only give me results from 2014 to 2016. And I didn't take the modification off when I was searching, like, how many Black people are in Utah? And I kept getting, like, around 48,000. But then I was like, oh, fuck, I have that feature on. Turned it off. The shit came to 30,000. And then it's like, how many of those Black people actually voted for you? Because Black people tend to lean Democrat because Republicans run on the goddamn, the Jim Crow ticket still. Like, you're not a representative of Black people. It's hard enough for a Black Democrat to be an actual representative of Black people. A Black Republican, not in the fucking slightest. Get the fuck out of here. All right, Becky Lives Matter. Real quick, real fast over here. All right. So, an individual named Lenise Bermudez, she went to a... what appears to be like a little restaurant, little eatery, called the Wildflower Bread Company, Tuesday last week, and stopped in and niggas want to be polite, you don't want to just sit all up on a nigga, there's a lot of chairs. It was like, hey man, hey homie, you alright with me sitting here, cuz? That's not how she talks, and the person that she asked that. Well, she got all Becky on her. It's interesting. Check out the audio.
Well, I have never been told that somebody prefers whites.
Yes, that would be me.
Okay, now I think that's a little playfully naive. You've never been told that somebody prefers whites? Come on, nigga.
Apparently.
I prefer the whole freaking nation to be white.
All right, Becky said, I want the whole freaking nation to be white. The whole freaking nation.
How about that?
That's lovely, lady.
Yes.
You know that's never going to happen, right?
Oh, it's gonna happen. You're gonna be a white dog. Trust me.
So all I was doing was asking you if you mind if I could sit in this chair right here. Out of courtesy, because you are reading papers.
And now as she's speaking to Becky, Becky just got up and started moving all her items to the next table over. Very disgruntled that this brown-looking, thick eyebrow colored woman gonna come sitting near me.
But you prefer white people, not me. Definitely. So this lady's telling me that she doesn't want me to sit next to her because I'm not white. Dear Lord.
Sometimes I wonder if the whole surprise thing is like sarcasm, putting on an act. If these niggas really be surprised that like racism and shit. Now, are niggas really surprised that, you know, racism and shit? And hard to believe for me. Hard to fucking believe. All right. That's gonna be the quick blast morning wine cellar. What we have coming up, shit that I plan on doing. Tariq Nasheed, he brings up the idea that there is a, quote, sexual confusion agenda, and then he uses that to springboard the idea that, hey, it's okay to attack trans women. That's so that's what Tariq Nasheed is doing. We mentioned before on the evening wine cellar from Monday, want to get into this Kevin Wu and trying to get sex workers audited by the IRS business, which, I mean, that's the thing, like, the left is not mean enough. Because you can turn around and do that same shit. Like, right-wingers that have Patreons, turn around and report them. Turn around and report all of them. But what we don't do is fucking start naming names and taking screenshots of people we're reporting and posting them publicly. Keep it in the group, nigga. But nigga, message that shit on the low. You know. Alright, so shit like that can be done. Alright. So and our shit, we do pay our taxes. PayPal.me/Phoenix and William. Patreon.com/Wine Cellar Media Fund. And you know, it's more likely that the right-wingers are not paying their taxes because that's what they talk about hating doing. Shit. You know what? I mean, hey, check it out. Like, be mean, leftists. Be mean. And call them sadists. Call them what they are. That's literally sadism, like a motherfucker. Alright. That should be about that. Please be as safe as possible wherever you are. And that'll be that. Yeah, I'm looking over here at the archive chat space. Tally Logo said, yes, the left is not mean enough. Yes, indeed. Said this, I'm definitely guilty. Yeah, man, we should dish back to them what they're giving us. Like that FedEx truck driver. Hey, that nigga threw food. Remember, folks, that's the actual story, because it keeps the headline and the top words that keep getting passed around were someone hurled racial slurs, got punched, and died. Nah, that nigga ran up on him, threw his food at him, threw his drink on him, and then took a swing at him and missed. That punch was 150,000% self-defense. All right, and that'll be that, player. There we go. Facebook Live off. YouTube, get out of here.